Wrexham FC have been given the biggest humbling by Southampton. They were sold a complete dream, up in the game for the vast majority of it, but in the 90th minute, Southampton turned the game on its head and get the 3 points. And it proves to Wrexham that the Championship is just so unforgiving. The step up from League One is a big step up for them this season, and how will they get on in the Championship over the course of this season? If you're a Southampton and Wrexham fan, then do hit subscribe on this channel. We do daily Championship content, and we talk about your teams every single day, so do hit that subscribe button, and let's jump straight into it. Well, of course, it finished 2-1 to Southampton, and honestly, it's another game that's just a perfect advert for the Championship. The two games I've watched, the Birmingham game and then the Wrexham and Southampton game, genuinely, it just proves that the Championship is just the best league in the world. The entertainment is just unmatched. And to have that game like that, where there was so many chances throughout the game, Wrexham had chances, Southampton had chances, Wrexham were fantastic on the counter-attack, we'll get into that later. And as well as that, then to have 2 goals in the 90th minute, it just shows you what the Championship is all about and how good it's going to be this season. Because we've got teams coming up from League One, Charlton also won as well. You've got teams coming up from League One that are going to be so competitive in the Championship this season. And, I think throughout the whole of the division, it is going to be so competitive this season, hopefully even more competitive than what it was last season across the whole of the division. And as I say, Southampton, they definitely got away with it. I just want to start off with Southampton and the kind of lineup that they decided to go for. Now, I think Will still definitely got things wrong in terms of his starting 11, and you saw it with the players coming on. Of course, they saved the game in the end. The substitutes were the difference, especially one player in particular. But I think the way they set up, I was surprised that I thought Southampton would be playing a 4-back, to be honest. They went 3 at the back to match Wrexham. Now, I think Will Still's main formation he plays is more of like a 4-3-3 kind of formation, so I was surprised, as I say, for him not to go with that lineup. And I was surprised to see Ryan Fraser in the starting 11. I thought he was going to maybe go 5-back. Fraser could maybe go wing-back, and then maybe go for like a Cameron Archer. Because if you look on Southampton's bench, I mean, the guy just threw on strikers. That's what Will Still did at the end. He brought on Damien Downs, he brought on Cameron Archer, he brought on Ross Stewart. Like, Southampton have got so many options in that attacking third. I was surprised that he just went with Adam Armstrong as the real number 9. I thought he would maybe go for somebody else, and even if it was a number 9, play him out wide. I was surprised by that team selection. As I say, I think Southampton were really flat in the game. They created chances, definitely. Wrexham did give Southampton a few chances throughout the match. We have a look at it in a second. But as I say, I think Wrexham really, Southampton were playing the game into Wrexham. Times too slow in possession. And Wrexham on the counter-attack, playing very direct, playing very fast. And Wrexham were getting the better of them, especially in that first half. Now, second half, I think Wrexham did really go and part the bus, but they still had a couple of chances. But just starting off, I want to start off with kind of the Wrexham forward line. I think Josh Windass and Kiefer Moore worked really, really well together. I think Kiefer Moore, I know a lot of people talk about the price tag and, he's old, but he's a handful. He came in, physical. You look at what he did for the goal. I think Ronnie Edwards really did struggle to deal with Kiefer Moore for the vast majority of that game. You look for the penalty, Kiefer Moore using his experience, getting his body in front of Ronnie Edwards, expecting the contact, goes down and wins a penalty, stonewall penalty. No complaints whatsoever with the penalty. And Josh Windass as well was a handful throughout the match. I think Lewis O'Brien in the middle of the park for Wrexham was really, really good at getting about the pitch. You see him making defensive tackles, last-ditch tackles, and getting forward as well. I mean, he had a chance where he was through on goal where Jack Stevens got back actually and tackled him, where it was a real good chance. Wrexham had another chance in the 87th minute to as well as that kind of put the game to bed. They had numerous chances, as well as, of course, Southampton had chances as well. A word on Southampton as well defensively. Of course, as I say, I think Ronnie Edwards struggled defensively to deal with a physical striker in Kiefer Moore. But I want to talk about Joshua Kwashi, who I think is going to be a fantastic signing for Southampton, who really is physically very good in terms of his strength and getting his kind of body in the way of the forwards and not letting people past him. I think he was incredible at that. But not only that, his recovery speed as well. We know the way that Southampton are going to play, and we know the way that teams are going to play against Southampton. I think that kind of Wrexham was kind of the blueprint to what a lot of teams, how they're going to approach the games against Southampton, especially at St Mary's. Having a player like Joshua Kwashi, who is so fast, he recorded the fastest speed in the second tier of the Bundesliga. Having a defender like him for his recovery speed on the way back, numerous times this guy showed his pace, and he's going to dominate forwards. I think up against forwards that maybe don't have the level of experience. Obviously, Kiefer Moore could kind of peel off towards, he was kind of on Ronnie Edwards' side. But I think Joshua Kwashi, in terms of his defensive performance, was fantastic. And I think he's only going to get better throughout the season. He's, 21 years old. And coming to English football, that was his first game. Obviously, it's big pressure moving over to a new league in a game like that. And I think he handled the occasion really well. And as I say, I think throughout the season, as the season goes on, this guy is going to get better and better in that Southampton team. Now, as I say, I think the wing-backs for Southampton, I think they struggled. I think Sugawara and Wellington as far as attacking output going forward. It was difficult when you got, one striker in Adam Armstrong up against 3 physical defenders for Wrexham, who Adam Armstrong obviously found it tough. He had a couple of chances here and there where he found pockets of space. He's a very intelligent striker, Adam Armstrong is, but I think he needed help in terms of another number 9 in the side, which is why I was surprised with Will Still, who, by the way, it's his first match in English football. He's going to learn a lot from this game, I feel, and I think he's definitely going to be better for it, and as well, getting the 3 points, of course, is ideal. But Wellington, I think, once Ryan Manning came on, I was looking at the starting 11. I can't believe Ryan Manning wasn't playing. This guy, I've watched him at QPR, obviously I know a lot about Ryan Manning in terms of watching him week in, week out. His quality on the ball is very good. He can pick a really good pass in terms of playing the ball forward, and his set-piece delivery is fantastic, and his set-piece in general, as we saw from the free kick, is also incredible. So I think at Championship level, Premier League level, he's not up to the standard, but that's just the way it is. But at Championship level, this guy is a serious player. And as I say, he's got to be starting week in, week out. Unbelievable free kick. And as well as that, setting up the goal as well. But I think it was Shea Charles, it might have been, I think it was anyway, who played that pass through to Ryan Manning. That kind of diagonal pass, which I think was a fantastic ball. Ryan Manning gets in front of his man. I can't remember who it was for Wrexham. I think it was someone who came. I think it was Ryan Longman who came on for Wrexham. Who Ryan Manning got the better of, got his body in front of him, and then played the ball across. I think Damien Downs, who came out of the bench, really should have taken the initial chance, but it falls to Jack Stevens. What even was Jack Stevens doing up there at the end of the match anyway? Because it wasn't even like it was from a set piece or anything like that. God knows what Jack Stevens doing up there on the right-hand side. Puts the ball into the back of the net. Bar post, goes across the line, into the back of the net, and absolute scenes in that Southampton home end. And that is, as I say, what the Championship is all about, and a fantastic way to finish what was an unbelievable match and a very entertaining match. We'll go to the stats in a second, but I also want to talk about Danny Ward as well for Wrexham, because I was surprised in the Wrexham lineup to see him start, and I thought it would be a conquest because he's not really put a foot wrong in his time for Wrexham. And Danny Ward comes into the side. I was thinking interesting, I think a bit risky, but Danny Ward was really good. He made a few really good saves, was very composed, came out and claimed crosses, and was generally a very kind of calming figure in that Wrexham side, which obviously was going to get all kinds of pressure thrown at them in that match. And I say, no mistakes from Danny Ward, a really good performance from him. And it's his shirt to lose now, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of Wrexham going forward. And also as well, James McLean on off the bench within 5 minutes goes and gets a yellow card. Absolute class. That's one thing that you can guarantee in the Championship in that match is James McLean getting a yellow card. Doesn't matter if he's on the pitch for 5 minutes or 90 minutes. He's getting a yellow card. Let's be real. So let's just go to the stats and kind of have a look. Because as I say, really entertaining game. Southampton, as you see there, you have to say they deserved it. 27 shots. You can't create. They created a lot of chances, but Wrexham on the big chances. You look at the quality of chances. Wrexham had a chance in the 87th minute. There was an unbelievable save from Bazunu, by the way. I thought actually was pretty decent as well, to be fair. He made that was literally like his only save. I think Bazunu was decent enough in terms of his distribution as well. I think he looked pretty decent, which was good to see. And as I say, Wrexham created some real good quality chances. You had Lewis O'Brien, who was running through as well, who also didn't manage to get that shot off. But I think Wrexham, on another day, could have definitely just nicked the second goal and it would have been completely game over. But as I say, the Championship is so unforgiving. If you don't take your chances, you get them big chances. If you don't take them, you might get away with it in League One. In the Championship, against these quality players that Southampton have, you're quite simply just not going to get away with it. And as I say, Southampton there, you look at the expected goals, just an accumulation of chances, because they weren't exactly big chances. They were just constant kind of balls into the box, shots, and kind of half chances. And eventually, they managed to get through with that goal at the end from Jack Stevens. And I think Southampton, they got away with it, as I say. I think Will Still will learn a lot from this game. I think that Southampton will definitely be better for it. We'll see how they kind of set up in future weeks. I think personnel will be very different. But overall, Southampton did completely dominate the game. Wrexham came in to part the bus and play on the counter-attack, which, to be fair to them, worked out very well until they got the humbling in the 90th minute and the 96th minute from Jack Stevens. But let me know what you think of the game. I think it was a fantastic game. I genuinely really enjoyed watching that game. And honestly, the Championship season is going to be amazing. If you're not looking into the Championship this season, then quite simply, what are you doing at the end of the day? So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. If you're a Southampton fan, hit subscribe. There's going to be a lot of content on your team. If you're a Wrexham fan, hit subscribe. There's going to be a lot of content on your team as well. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.